Thanks for joining us on Coast to Coast Pest Talk.
I'm sure more on that. We'll do a podcast on when that fails. So, all right, hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in to Coast Pest Talk. I'm your host Gabe with Pest Patrol, joined here as always with your other host Andy Snefsky with Primatech Pest Management. We got a fantastic episode today. We're joined this afternoon/evening by Marcus Richardson with Finally Pest Control. I didn't even ask where he's from. We'll have to
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. There you go.
Indiana.
And we should have some fun. Before we get rolling, don't forget to join our Coast to Coast Pest Talk group on LinkedIn because it is going down in the Coast to Coast Pest Talk group on LinkedIn. All right, let's do this.
Let's bring him in here. Marcus, how you doing, man?
There we go. All right, technology wins again. So I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised, and moved to Indianapolis about 15 years ago. So go Braves.
There you go. So I hate to say it, I'm a Phillies fan. So I think we'll just end this right here.
All right.
we're done.
Nice to meet you, Marcus.
See ya. This was the shortest guest appearance we've ever had. So, oh my God. So I thought when we were just chatting, I was going to ask you where you're from because it did not sound like Indiana.
Yeah, I've got a Southern twang to me. So I grew up with yes, sir, no, sir type of living. And that's helped my business a lot, So,
oh, wow. Okay.
I love it. Yeah.
Okay. So, Finally Pest Control. I love the name. That's fantastic. When did you start this? How did you get going with this?
What's funny is I started about 10 years ago. I was, my background is commercial. So I was with the company Ecolab, if everybody's heard of Ecolab.
Sure.
Did the training, was there for about 2.5, 3 years. And just wanted something different. My background in biology, so that's where I got my degree at, was biology for my undergrad. And from there, just kind of, took a break from pest control. 5 years later, just still had the itch. And I said, well, let's just get back to pest control. And so when I was about to start the business, I was standing in line at the grocery store. And I'm just kind of gazing off, daydreaming in the wind. And some guy behind me like, finally, come on, it's your turn to go and pay your stuff. I was like, oh, I can call it Finally Pest Control. Thank you. So we left on a nice note there. So I was pretty happy to do that. So, but no, just always had a passion for killing bugs and, the biology of it and learning more about the industry. So I'm locked and loaded,
Wow. 10 years in. That's awesome, man.
That's
Congratulations.
awesome.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
So is your business now, is it mainly residential, mainly commercial? Are you a 50-50? How's that split go?
Roughly about 70-30. We do accounts all over the entire state of Indiana. As far as the government, we work with a lot of government agencies. State patrol, like the police all across the state, we work with them. Department of Transportation, a lot of the rest areas, and your state parks, they call them DNRs here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bulk of our work, but still residential is something that we're definitely growing in. So that's a split right now, 70-30.
Yeah, wow. It's funny. I've seen over the years a number of folks that came from organizations that were, I guess, heavily commercial, end up in their own business with a lot more commercial than someone that came out of a more residential background. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How many guys do you have? Is it just you, or you got a crew?
So currently it's 4 of us. There's 4 techs. I've
Okay.
got a head manager. He actually left Ecolab around the same time as me. And I mean, his name's Jody. And I've also got 2 techs, Makai, who's up in East Chicago, Indiana. And we have Robert, who is located in Indianapolis with me. So those are my 4. And we have one subcontractor that I now have. His name's William. He's been in pest control for 40 years. So I have a mentor within the company. So That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Now, do you cover the whole state, or what's your geography like?
Yeah. So yes, we cover the entire state of Indiana. So from Evansville all the way up to East Chicago, Fort Wayne area, all of your cities that kind of as small as Indiana is are the bigger cities. So yeah, we take care of the entire state.
Wow. Now, so you guys, are they remote or do you have a central office? How do you manage that?
So we work off the remote location. And what's funny is some of the larger companies like Ecolab, they're heavy on the commercial side. I think they have no residentials.
Yeah,
at
I
this
don't think they
point.
have any.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I never reinvented the wheel. I just kind of did the same thing, just go remote. So guys have their own, vehicle, their service vans. They work their area, their route, and then they come home for the night. So yeah,
Wow.
that's work for us. Yep.
With that subcontractor that you have, is he doing like just as needed, like special project stuff? What's that look like? Or is he like consulting with you, or what's that?
Yeah, no, he's got like at least 10 or 12 big accounts that he does through
Oh,
the
cool.
month. Yeah, so he's happy. He's never been in commercial, and he said, I think what you're doing is pretty cool. So I showed him the ropes, and kind of like what Andy said, you kind of teach them, Monday through Friday. That's your window. Make sure you get them done. So yeah, no, he's in love with it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it. Yep.
How did you get hooked up with Pete Chopin for that whole thing? How did
Yeah,
that come about?
right.
It's crazy. I want to say, because we're all members of National Pest Management Association. Pete came to Indianapolis, and he was the final speaker. And as he spoke, I could really relate to what he was saying. And I said I could see myself, growing the business to some degree, like Pete did. And after he finished speaking, and everyone started to leave and disperse from the meeting, I just told Pete, I said, my faith in God is very strong, and I can tell that you're a believer. You mentioned how God grew your business. What do you see, in me that you could kind of picture, yourself? And he said, well, tell me about your business, this and that. And we spoke maybe through text, every 6 months or something. And finally, one day he just called me and said, "Hey, I want to help mentor you and get an article done for you." So I was
That's
very
awesome.
excited. Yeah. So Pete found me. I'm sorry, guys. My 9-year-old daughter's here. She wants to say hi.
Hey. Oh, it's awesome. Have you brought her out on the road with you?
I tried to. They were on spring break last week, and we went to, if you guys are familiar with the hotel water parks.
Yeah.
There's one called the Kalahari, and she was out one day after we had finished coming back from the water park. I said, "You want to go with Dad to try out a parent daughter day?" She said, "Yeah, I'll be ready, Dad. Let me get my stuff." I was like, "Well, you got to carry this 1-gallon tank." And she starts laughing. It was like, I think I'll stay here and just play my iPad.
Oh no. Yeah, I brought my 11-year-old daughter to a bedbug service, and she thought it was the coolest thing she's ever done.
Really?
She absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was some. She's the one that I got two. She's the one that is like the not tyrant. What's that, like a mogul? She wants to be like a mogul, right? She's like always talking about, when I take over the company, Dad, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be growing this thing. And I'm like, oh boy.
Andy, I'm begging my kids. I'm like, please take over the company. Let it be a second generation. And they're like, we got no interest, Dad. Like, we hate bugs.
You just keep working on it, bro.
Yeah.
We need more multi-generational businesses.
Yeah, and Gabe, the funny part about it is, I said, "Have you ever even seen a cockroach?" Because at times I'll spray the house, and she points to a bug, and it was not a cockroach. I can't remember what it was, but she said, it was so funny.
Oh my God! So, have you implemented anything from Pete's sessions? Like, what's changed from beforehand to now?
Oh, Pete's amazing. It's like Gabe just mentioned how he hired a new employee. I also had to fire an employee recently in one area, South Bend, Indiana area. And Pete just told me, he was like, "This is how you hire a new guy, like, hands down, boots on the ground type of stuff. Join a Facebook group and, find the biggest group in that city, and then go ahead and post post an idea of everything that's going on, post a resume. From there, Pete just kind of said, you can hire somebody. And I've gotten a few hits from that too. And usually I hire off of Indeed. It's hit and miss,
Yep.
Yeah.
Guy comes in, they're on fire, and then all of a sudden they fizzle out. So,
Sure.
but
How do you review or interview them when it's so they could be, a whole other city over? Do you go meet them at somewhere, or how do you do that?
I'm old school. Like I'll come meet. Yeah, I'll come with you. You walk with me. We'll even do a job shadow. So they'll sign a waiver.
Okay.
So after initial interview, hey, if this is something you like, you wouldn't believe the number of people we've had to do a walk along with. And I tell them it's unpaid. From the get go. There was this one lady, and we were doing some multi units, Andy, and we go into these apartments, and the guy and the I guess there's trash on the floor. Kids were running around. A little disoriented. And the walk along, she said, God, I'm going to report these people. Their kids are just walking all over. I'm like, that's not our job. We do pest control. We don't tell people how to raise their kids. And so, needless to say, that was probably the quickest walk along we ever had.
Thank you. Don't call us.
Yeah. Yeah. But from the walk along, she was passionate. From the walk along, though, we do a reference. We check all three of your references, then we give you, put you on probation for 2 weeks or so, some training, and then we'll test them and get their core license. I'm not sure in your states, if they're called the core license as well, and then we'll get them to start doing their own route. Yeah.
Now, most of your guys sound like they came with experience. Have most of your people that you've hired had experience? Have you had anybody come in that was completely green, completely new?
I did that. I did both. I did the completely green, and one guy has worked out like that. Now he's been with me 2 years, but for the most part, if you've got mosquito background or maybe some landscaping, I do look for that. So as long as you have a clean driving record, that's about it. Yeah, I'm open. Because I think anybody can succeed in this business if you work hard enough and is passionate for the job. So, yeah.
So now who handles you don't have a central office, and if I call in to Finally Pest Control and I need a service, who's picking up that phone? How's that work for you?
You're going to love this. So I actually hired both of my mothers to do the call. So they're not techs. Yeah. So when we're out in the field, I'm running my route, Gabe. My mother, she'll be the one to pick up the phone, and she's remote. Amazing. She's in Memphis, Tennessee. We've got one of those. It's like a Google list number. So you call and 6 people can see the voicemail. So from there, any one of us can handle it. We all take notes. We share notes through emails and webpage. And I mean, it's awesome. You get a physical person talking to you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Plus, if somebody has a problem, they can tell your mother.
Exactly.
Man, you got to do a good job.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call. I want to call just so I can talk to Marcus's mother. That
I think we found the next guest for next week's podcast. Marcus's mother.
She's got stories. She has stories.
That's right.
Well, because and this both from being in our field, we can have a 30-minute job turn into an hour because the customer wants to talk to you.
Yep.
So I'll let my mother handle the phone. She's semi-retired. She'll be happy to talk to you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
What's I'm curious, Marcus. Obviously you're 10 years into this. Walk us through think about somebody that's considering starting a business, or maybe they just started a business, or they're thinking about growing. Walk us through some of the risks that you've taken as a business owner. Inspire our listeners a little bit of what are some of the jumps that you've made, maybe that have worked out, maybe they haven't, but just that you've kind of chosen to take.
Some of my biggest obstacles was I bought 5 vehicles all at once. I want to say back in 20.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. 20. 2018. So luckily, all of them are paid off. They were on a 5-year, plan. They were the ProMaster vans, so the smaller Ram vans, all paid off. Um, I've had I've had one totaled, actually two of them totaled by a couple of technicians. Uh, One technician, he's no longer working with us because of the fact that we had to drug test him afterwards. Yep, and he failed.
Wow.
So that's a big part of it.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's something. We've had a lawsuit from that wreck where I had to pay out the person that he hit and his medical bills of $50,000. So I was put on a 2-year plan to pay $2,000 through some law firm. So that was rough. I've taken out a loan on the house. My wife did not like that, but I've paid that off now. So luckily, that's a
Yes.
good thing. But although you hear those headaches and stuff like that, there are contracts out there that you can get. I did have recently a 6-figure contract worth over a
Wow.
24-month period for commercial building. They're building a new um, pharmaceutical building, and so we're working from the ground up, and hopefully we'll keep their pest control long term after they build all of the buildings there. Um, but I mean, you got to be determined, and you got to keep the pace because there are some bad days, there are good days, So, but I'm enjoying the ride. It's a roller coaster for sure.
It is. So how do you find your way in front of some of those larger accounts like that? How'd you get in front of that?
Yeah, it's funny because I'm when I'm not in my pest control uniform, my wife says, I like to dress up. I'm a believer in God, so we go to church every Sunday when we can. Um, but I'll throw on a suit. And I'll say, well, where are they meeting at, or who can I drop by and see today? And so I've driven to the state capitol and talked with the governor. I've talked with just who else? The people like the head managers, the general managers. I'll look them up. And I'll say that looks like a good looking account, and I'll drive there. I'll sit there. Sometimes that gatekeeper's there, the secretary. Sorry, Mr. Big Shot, can't get to you today. Well, here's my number and here's my info. If he can't call me, can I email him? And they'll say, yeah, here's his email, and just spark up a conversation. You can't be afraid to just put yourself out there sometimes. And so that's what we do. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's fantastic. Gabe,
That is
are you gonna
amazing.
get a suit and go to the Capitol?
This is just fantastic. Now
I-
I'm gonna hire Marcus to come and
There
talk
you
to
go.
my gut. Could you tell? Never mind. We're not getting into politics.
I know. Look, Gabe, look. I'm voting for whoever keeps our taxes down.
There you go.
But I got a color for you that'll look good for you, Gabe. Especially for my dad, he's bald. So I've got for some reason there's some color that always works for me. It's like a pastel. So
Cool.
yeah,
All right.
yep. So
All right,
I've
you
got
send
a
it my
good-
way. You send it my way.
That's
Well, I'd just like to say, Marcus, like, I mean, that cold calling, that's just so cool. It's so inspiring to see somebody out there with, frankly, just the balls to do that. And good on you for that. And also that story of buying 5 vehicles at one time. That may be the most epic small business story I've heard. That is crazy.
I'll never do it again. I'm buying 1 or 2 per year. So that's about it. Yeah. I bought 2 last year and I'll buy 1 this year. So
Wow. That takes guts, man. That takes some serious guts.
it is. And I've got a good wife. Man.
You know what? We got to get a nickname. It needs to be Marcus All In Richardson.
Yes.
That's got to be. Oh, he's going big. 5 vehicles. It's got to be $100,000. I mean, probably at least, right?
Maybe more.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
probably more, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I doubled some payments. When COVID
Yeah.
hit, luckily some of those payments were skipped.
Yep.
We made it though. We paid them off, so that's a good
That's
thing.
amazing. Well
Yeah.
done.
Thank you.
Betting on himself. I love it.
you.
So when we started out, we heard something about $50 in a red pickup truck.
Oh yeah.
What was this story? We got to circle back around to that,
Oh,
'cause it
man.
sounded like there was
Maybe.
something good coming there.
That's right.
Oh man, I'm gonna take you to the nitty gritty. So
All right, I love it.
I told my father-in-law, I said, I need a vehicle. I need to start a business, pest control business. I need to do this. I'm going for it. And we're big fans of Dave Ramsey, if you're familiar with.
Yep.
Yep. So debt free. We've taken financial peace, me and my wife.
Wow.
All the courses. And
Wait. So what? I just got to stop.
No,
You bought 5 trucks at the same time. There's no way Dave
Marcus
Ramsey
said debt free.
And now, for people listening to this, he just left. Okay, he's back. I thought he was done.
I hid my face from Dave if he ever gets a hold of this
But
podcast.
there's no way Dave Ramsey's like, yeah, buy 5 trucks at the same time.
Well,
Okay, so it was after that,
amazing.
right?
it was after that. It was after that.
Okay.
It was after that.
So, okay, we got to fill people in because a lot of people don't know. Dave Ramsey has a whole thing that he encourages people not to go into debt. You don't use credit cards. You pay off your home. You pay everything in cash. Like you live without any debt at all. And he has a whole process to do that. If you check him out, DaveRamsey.com or something like that. And he's actually in Tennessee, Gabe. Last week you said. And I was like, I thought he was from Atlanta, but I think he's in Nashville, actually.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah, he is. Yeah, he's in Tennessee.
Just to fill it. Okay, so Marcus All in Richardson, back to you.
So my dad, my father-in-law is in Memphis, Tennessee, and that's where my wife is from. So we're both, Southerners. But I told him I need a vehicle. He said, perfect. I've got the perfect auction place for you. So, so we take a 30-minute drive. I believe it's somewhere in Arkansas. And we purchased this. I see this red pickup. It's a 1999 red F-150. 2-seater. It's a V8 engine. It's horrible on gas. And I mean, horrible. But we see it and we say, we love it. And at the time, it was about maybe 15 years old, 2013, 2014. And the price was about $4,500. So, we're doing the auction thing as the car's driving down a lot. As you think of like, I think it's Meacham or something, the car auction place. It's just like that. That was my first time at the car auction. Yeah. It was amazing. So I finally raised my hand and I get it for $2,700. So, I take some of the cash that I've saved up and purchase the vehicle. And, when you get it, it's yours. It's, you purchase it, it's just as is. Car doesn't have any heat.
Oh, no.
I have to replace a headlight.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to drive it back to Indianapolis, I guess within the next 3 to 4 days, because I still was kind of working my other job while starting the pest control business. So at the time, I'm a chemist at a medical company from my degree and stuff. And I drive the vehicle back, get it fixed, and I get my first call. And like you said, Gabe, I was doing the cold call thing. So I was, residential, commercial, anybody that'll pick up for me. And at the time, I put all of my information on Craigslist. So someone finds me through Craigslist, and I'm asking for $100. And so they come back and say, well, 100's kind of too much. I just only need the exterior done. I'm seeing wasp outside. Can you do that for $50? I said, well, usually it's indoor, outdoor, $100. Okay, we can work with 50. So granted, this is a week before the job. So it snows the day before the job. And the person, she asks me to still come out. Like, hey, will you still come spray? I know it's snowing. And it's not much snow. I mean, it's maybe an inch or two, of snow. And I'm out there. I've got you got your pole duster. I'm over here dusting. Snow's coming down while I'm knocking down mud dopper nest and stuff. I'm like, man, this is hilarious. But at this time, I'm just happy. I'm happy I'm doing something in the industry. So That was my first job, and it trickled on. We got more than $50, moving forward. I know that.
So if somebody calls now and wants the $50 deal, what do you say?
Oh, I think we have our best worker is Gabe. He's in Portland, so we can't make it
Right.
that far.
There you go. Oh my God. How long did that truck last you?
Oh, I love that truck. I want to say I kept it for about 2 years until I had to sell it. It was just
wow.
time.
Wow.
It was time. So
Oh my
yeah.
God. Yeah, my first truck when we started was in 2008 was a 99 Ford Ranger. And
Nice.
It was rusted just about in
Classic.
half. The bed had to get welded back onto the thing. Lasted about 2 seasons. It was a death trap. The thing was horrible. I will say though, the only thing it had going for it was the AC in those old Ford Rangers was like a walk-in cooler. You could scrape ice off the inside of the windshield. I would have
Nice.
that AC just cranking
That's
in the
awesome.
summer.
I've had about 3 Rangers, so I love Rangers at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there any fleet or vehicle that you guys like compared to other cars or anything that you
we
like?
have all Tacomas, all of ours. What do you have? You have Chevys or something, don't you, Gabe?
Yeah, mine are Chevys, but I'm switching to Tacomas. My new ones, I'm going to go with Tacomas. I got Chevys just because it just was happenstance. I bought the first rig I ever got was a Chevy, and then I just made a relationship with the dealer, and then I had just always gone there. But they have broken down regularly, and just stupid things break on them, and yeah, it's annoying.
And you drive full-size trucks, right, Gabe?
They're Colorados, so they're
they
they're the same
mid-size,
tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we chose the Tacomas because I'm kind of short, and like the bed of a lot of these trucks, even the Colorado or the new Rangers, it's like shoulder high. Like it's like this high on a Ranger, and I'm like, I need a ladder to get to
And
my
he's got
ladder.
a step ladder to
Yeah,
get
pretty
his
much.
B&G out.
So I wanted like the shortest bed as I could get. So yeah, Marcus? What do you guys got?
So we mostly have those ProMasters. I'm going to retire the last 3 or so shortly, but I've got a Ford. I don't care, just anything that'll save me gas. I've got a Ford Sports Track, the smaller van. I've got a Ranger. I've got an F-150 for myself because I've got to haul the kids, and that's it. I had a minivan at one point, but yeah, but no, that's over. So I like Rangers. I probably stick with the Rangers as well.
Yeah. I think the Ranger, do they have a hybrid version now? Do they just this year?
I know they do the
came out-
Maverick. Have you heard of the Maverick?
The Maverick.
Yeah.
Yep. They're so hard to find though. They are.
Yeah. I wish there was a relatively affordable hybrid or electric truck. Not like the Tesla truck, like an actual like truck that we could use.
Now that'll be a sight to see if you come up to service a house in the Tesla truck.
You're not charging $50 for that job driving up in the Tesla.
Can we charge at your house? You just pull out the plug. So
yeah, that's right. Can we plug in? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, last question. What's your favorite pest?
I'm somewhere stuck between bedbug and rodent, but if I had to say, it'd be the rodent. It'd be the rodent.
Mouse or rat?
I definitely do both. So
Okay.
Depends on the commercial account. But mouse are easy. I'm a Southerner guy, so I've actually caught a mouse with my hands in an account.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course you have. Of course.
I had one hand on it, and one other hand was the glue board. I just got him
Real quick. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Gabe, have you ever caught a mouse with your hands? Let's go around the horn.
I do that all the time.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure you do.
Nice.
Nope. I have not gotten one with my hand. No, I accidentally stepped on one trying to run away. It was horrific. It crunched and everything.
My best hand-to-hand combat with a rodent was using a yardstick, and the rat. I had trapped it in an office, somebody's office, or they had trapped it in their office, and they had stuffed a bunch of stuff under the door so it couldn't get out, and I went in there with a yardstick, and it was up on kind of like the curtain rod above the window, and I took the yardstick and smacked it in the head off the curtain rod, and then I accidentally got a bunch of rat blood all over the customer's carpet.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So that was fun.
Okay, so since we're doing hand to hand, I had one a million years ago, and it was a raccoon that got into a refrigerated truck. and it was up near the like cooling stuff near the front of the truck, and it was like tucked in this little cubby. And they call us. It was at a food distribution warehouse. They had just finished unloading the truck, and now everybody's standing around going, "What do? We got to get this raccoon out of here." And we didn't do nuisance wildlife, but they called us up, called pest control. I show up, and I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do? So I got this big long pole, like this extension pole from the truck, and I go walking into the truck, and the driver comes. He's like, "What are you gonna do?" I was like, "I'm gonna go over there and poke this thing with a stick and hope it runs out of there." And he's like, "That's the best idea you got." I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty low tech, man. Pest control. Sometimes you just poke stuff with sticks."
Is that what you did?
I did. I poked him with a stick a couple times. He ran out of there. I was like, "Problem solved. $200."
Yeah.
All right. Don't call Andy for your nuisance wildlife.
No,
folks.
we don't do nuisance wildlife.
No, me neither. No.
No thanks.
No, thank you.
Awesome, Marcus. This was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
Maybe we'll get you on maybe at the end of the year or in the winter after you've gone through the season and talking to Pete more. We'll find out what's changed for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you guys. Have so much fun today.
Oh, for sure. Thanks.
Yeah, it's great. Good to have you. Great. Well, thanks so much, Marcus. Great conversation. And as always, guys, don't forget to tune in to future episodes of Coast to Coast and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Oh, you know what? We just hit 1,000 downloads.
Nice. Hey,
For the
all right.
podcast, so that's cool.
Very good.
So, yeah.
Check
Go
it
rock
out.
it, y'all.